Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to the stars of Miami, and we've come down to Miami's South Beach to Vintro, which is a wonderful hotel and kitchen with Chef Keith, who's just served a wonderful dinner. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, listen, congratulations. It's very rare I have a dinner where I love it from beginning to end, and you really did everything that I love tonight, which is fresh fish, great meat, and fabulous desserts. Congratulations.
Thank you so very much. It means a lot.
It's not easy, is it, to get the right recipe of a lovely room, great service, and top food?
No, it's not. It's a lot of trial and error. We went through a lot of different changes, front and back, and we've kind of put together a nice little team together, and we seem to be going in the right direction.
I know you were based before in New York. You did go to Italy for a while. What is it like being here? Is this a foodie town?
It's becoming a foodie town. From everything I've heard, my wife is originally from Miami Beach. From everything she told me before she left about 15 years ago, this was not the place to come for food. You know, back in the 70s, Miami was very, very popular, and then it kind of went down in the 80s and 90s. But now it's starting to come back, and you see there's a lot of really famous celebrity chefs are starting to come down here. You know, they all tried out Vegas, and now they're all starting to come down to the beach.
It's interesting because this is another artifice, a bit like Las Vegas, as you mentioned, but Vegas has got some amazing restaurants. And I think people now will not pay for crap, will they? If the food's not good, they won't come back, and you'll be closed.
Absolutely. We, you know, one bad review sets you back a few weeks. Luckily for us, knock on wood, we have yet to get a bad review, and hopefully that trend will continue.
I think one of the reasons is you don't show off. You're an amazing chef that does what you do well.
Thank you.
But for example, I had the sea bass, and you didn't cover it in some stupid sauce. If you've got a sea bass, let it shine. If you've got a scallop, let it shine. And you did that throughout the meal, especially with the octopus as well. It was in this beautiful sauce, but you didn't overpower it.
Simple. Simple is best. I learned from some very good chefs in Chicago as well as New York. Simple is best. And I always remember what my chef in Italy said. He said, keep it simple, keep it fresh, and the people will come back.
And again, it's all about the ingredients, and you're in a great place to get fresh fish, and of course that's the backbone of much of your menu. Had some extraordinary fish tonight. The sea bass was just wonderful. How hard is it to get the best fish competing with everybody else who also wants the best fish?
It's not as easy as New York, I'll be perfectly honest. There have been some speed bumps. Luckily, my sous chef he worked at one of the best seafood restaurants in all of Miami. So when I came down from New York, I've had a guide, somebody that's been steering me, and so I got lucky, because if I had come down here blind, I'd still be calling about fish and meat.
Is it fun being you, in a sense that you've got your name above this restaurant, which is very cool, very brilliant, very popular, successful, but you've got to maintain that. You've got to find the team who represent you well. Is it tricky?
It's absolutely tricky. It's probably the hardest talent pool I've ever had to dive into. New York, you have schools on every corner. Everybody wants to be a chef. Everybody wants to be a cook, and everybody will work for free. Down here, it's not that easy. A lot of people come in here, they have higher demands, the talent's a little less, so it is extremely difficult to get the right talent. We've been open since the end of July, and I'm still critiquing every position in the kitchen every single day.
Do you have to micromanage everything from every plate going out to the way every customer leaves, just so that they represent you well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I learned from one of the craziest men ever in New York City. I won't say his name because he'll probably hear this and kill me, but every single dish needs to have my finger on it. Not even my hand, my finger.
What I love about you guys is you work so well. There's nothing sexy about being a chef. It might look good during service, but you're here very early. You work very long hours. Is it tough preparing and getting this restaurant ready for a service by 6?
No, it's not. I'll be perfectly honest. I've worked in places where you are to the minute. Maybe you're not ready, but here, the guys, I don't know if they're afraid that I'm going to start yelling. It's a different type of crowd down here, you know, so we can be ready by 6 and people start showing up at 7, but at least we're ready.
As we see by the pictures that people will be watching in this video now, the food looks so great. You can't get away with just beautifully tender meat now. You have to make it look good, and then you have to dress the room nice. You've put great effort into all of it. Which bits of it is you? Do you leave it at the food, or are you responsible for the room? Did you have a finger over everything?
I'm the restaurant. I'm the menu, I'm the staff, I'm the decor. So I have definitely have my name on the restaurant. My consulting chef is my vision, Georgios Bakatsias. I have to say his name. And he has been my guru. So Vintro is his original concept from the top to the bottom. The man designed it with our owner, Enrique Colmenares. And I am his chef. So I have been chosen basically to fulfill his path and his vision. And yeah, so basically that's really what it is in a nutshell. I'm fulfilling his vision.
You've done a great job. The room is so cool. The music's great. It's not overpowering. I've been in a lot of restaurants in this town where the music's so loud you can't actually think. A little thing like that can ruin a meal, can't it?
Oh, forget about it. If you got to tell me, if I have to tell you to go turn the music down as a guest, that's another reason I might not come back the next time. And especially being in a hotel, we have to be sensitive to our guests. We have 50 rooms. That's 50 sets of ears or more that get to listen. So we have to be sensitive with the noise volume at the end of the night. We're not allowed to keep it up past 12 because, again, we have guests and we have to maintain that balance between making sure that a guest in the restaurant is just as happy as the guest staying in the hotel.
Let's talk about some of the things we had tonight. As I mentioned, the octopus was sensational. You put it in this beautiful sort of ragu, an amazing sauce. Again, where did you get so adept at putting these flavors together?
So the octopus, we cook the octopus in red wine and mirepoix, carrots, onion, and celery for about 45 minutes, so it's just tender. It's cooled and it's cleaned. Then the dish is picked up off the grill, and as you had, it has a little popcorn puree, which, for anybody listening, popcorn, yes, popcorn. It is exactly what I'm saying. It's not corn, it's popcorn. And it's made into a puree, and it just adds an extra level to the dish. And then, you get some fresh red pepper confit in there, some fresh chives, a little bit of Suarino chili, and out it goes. It's brand new to the menu, maybe about 2 months, but it's by far one of the most popular dishes that I have on there.
At what point in the night do you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and think, I know, popcorn will go great with octopus?
I was probably still up at 3 a.m. when I thought that octopus would go good with popcorn, yes. But, I ran it as a special for a few days, kind of like with the avocado salad today. We ran it as a special. We'll see if it's successful, get the feedback. And the feedback was spectacular. So I switched it. Originally we did it with some fennel and orange, fennel puree underneath. A little more traditional. It's a dish similar to one I did in New York. It was a little safe zone when I came down, and I was like, you know what, let's get a little bit more creative. Let's think outside the box. And popcorn puree, it's out there. It's definitely outside the box.
It's beautiful. Very, very nice. And then, of course, towards the end of the meal, we went via the sea bass, which we've already spoken of, and the steak was delicious. And the desserts, of course, mainly inspired by your wife, which is the most important person on the menu.
Thank you. Yes, she was trying to put. I'm not a big dessert aficionado. I can dabble and I can play around and put it together. I can make some gelatos. But we needed to put a dish on the menu, and everybody wants to do tiramisu and a cannoli and whatever else people might think of. But I was like, what can you do? And she spent some time in Italy like I did, and she learned 2 dishes. One of them was how to make a cannoli, which I said, no, I'm not putting a cannoli. And the other one was a pineapple tiramisu. And I said, that's different. I'm Italian and Irish. I've had my fair share of tiramisu in my life, but I have never had it with pineapple. And I was like, Miami, pineapple. Let's give it a go. And it's been pretty successful. We've also run it on our on events.
It's so light and refreshing and beautiful. And I have to talk about the chocolate mousse, probably my favorite dessert. Just sensational. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sea salt, olive oil. It's the next direction in desserts.
It's been done, but it hasn't necessarily been done well. Yeah, that's the point.
That's the new thing. Salt. Caramel with chocolate. Not caramel with chocolate. Salt and caramel, rather, I should say. Salt adds a different... It's a different flavor component when you're eating.
It opens up a different part of the mouth.
Yeah, it definitely does. You're looking for that sweet from the chocolate, and then you get the salty, and it's like, oh, and then you get that lush fattiness from the olive oil, and it's a different taste.
Chef Keith, you should be very proud. This is a beautiful restaurant. What's the website?
It's vintrohotels.com.
Very good. Vintro is a wonderful, beautiful restaurant. You should be very proud. Chef Keith, thank you for your time.
Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure.